The recent headlines about Iran and Israel are not just geopolitics. They are the latest data points in a 2,500-year-old story, a story that was written down before it ever happened. As an astrophysicist, I'm trained to analyze patterns in data across vast timelines. And the data connecting modern Iran to ancient prophecy is one of the most compelling trends I've ever seen. In this video, we're going to decode it through the lens of history, Jewish law, science, and Talmudic reasoning to reveal a trajectory that is unfolding right now. As a scientist, when I want to understand a phenomenon, I look for patterns in the data across time. The relationship between the Jewish people and Persia is a fascinating data set, showing a complex oscillating pattern of behavior over millennia. The story begins on a remarkable high note. The first face of Persia is that of a savior. In 539 BCE, King Cyrus the Great conquered Babylon and ended the 70-year-old Babylonian exile. He authorized the Jewish return to the land of Israel and funded the construction of the Second Temple in Jerusalem. But just a few generations later, the second face emerged. Under King Ahasuerus, his viceroy Haman plotted the first recorded attempt at a worldwide Holocaust, the annihilation of every single Jew. But the story doesn't end with a foiled plot. In a stunning reversal, Queen Esther secured a new decree from the king himself. This new law gave the Jewish people the right to assemble, to arm, and to defend themselves. On the very day designated for their destruction, the Jewish people launched a preemptive strike, fighting back against those who had prepared to annihilate them and eliminating the threat before it could materialize. It's a key part of the story that many people miss. The existential threat was not met just with prayer, but with decisive, unified action. And think about the timing of that pivotal moment. The royal decree that empowered the Jewish people to fight back was the 23rd day of Sivan, which this year corresponds to Thursday, June 19th, 2025. It's a powerful reminder to realize that this is not just an ancient story, it's living history, a recurring pattern for existential threat and the divinely inspired response that overcomes it. Before we continue, remember to subscribe. It really does help the channel, and this way you won't miss out on future videos. This duality continues to this day. After frightening relations under the last Shah, the 1979 Islamic Revolution reawakened the second face of Persia. And for some influential hardline factions in Iran, this hostility is a religious imperative, believing the return of their Messianic figure, the Mahdi, requires a final confrontation with the Jews. We have a clear historical pattern now. But was this pattern predicted? The Book of Ezekiel, written 2,600 years ago, specifically names Persia as a key player in a great war at the end of days, in chapter 38. The Talmudic sages elaborate, stating that Persia would challenge the West, which they call Rome, until the very end. This foresight is stunning. In Masechta Megillah, the sages also warned of Germania of Edom, identified centuries later as Germany, saying that if it ever united, it could destroy the entire world. This brings us to the central question. What does the fulfillment of prophecy actually look like in the scientific world? As a scientist, the answer comes from the most famous Jewish philosopher, Maimonides. He states that in the Messianic era, the world will follow its normal course. For a physicist, this is profound. The most fundamental truth is that the laws of nature are constant. Maimonides is saying that the fulfillment of prophecy does not require a reboot of the universe's operating system. It has to work within the existing laws of physics. What does that look like today? It looks like human ingenuity pushed to its limits. We see incredible technological advancements from Israel in the West, from multi-layered missile defense systems, to stealth technology, to off-the-grid mainframes being hacked. This is the world following its normal course, at a level of sophistication that mankind has never seen. But from a Torah perspective, divine providence is not about suspending nature. It's about guiding nature. The genius of the engineers, the success of an interception, these are natural events that a believer sees as being guided by a hidden divine hand. How do we reconcile this natural world, guided by a hidden hand, with a prophesied redemption? The Lubavitcher Rebbe explains that Maimonides is describing the first of two stages. The first stage is natural. It's the world we live in now. Political change, technological advancement, and global conflicts like the one with Iran, all happening from within the laws of nature. But this first stage prepares the world for a second, final stage that is miraculous. From a physics perspective, It's like a phase transition, like water turning into steam. The underlying components are the same, but the state of the system becomes radically different. When the world is filled with the knowledge of God, our collective observation will allow for this new transcendent reality to emerge. This is the ultimate destination of Iran's Messianic trajectory, not as an end in itself, but as a catalyst for the final redemption. The patterns are clear. The current conflict with Iran is not a deviation, it's part of the process. The sober, naturalistic first stage that Maimonides described, the ability to see the divine plan unfolding within our natural world, all while knowing it is the prelude to the ultimate final redemption. On this note, if you want to see the single most powerful logical proof of the existence of the personal God in the Bible, click here. Stay safe.